a mind-bending time travel adventure and an ambitious Shakespeare adaptation begin this Friday. And film critics Chuck and Pam are here to review Tenet and Measure for Measure. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you. Great to be here.
All right, so we're so excited that films are back in theaters. Are these two that people can see at home or in theaters?
Well, Tenet, the one I will review, is going to be in theaters. Pam is sticking it home for a while, so Measure for Measure will be at home.
Nothing wrong with that. So let's start with Tenet.
Let's start with Tenet. There's more than a little bit riding on Tenet. Tenet was supposed to be out in July, but then, of course, all the COVID delays occurred, and, well, Warner Brothers is hoping that in releasing this to theaters, it's going to bring people back into the theaters because Christopher Nolan, of course, he's definitely a named director, and he has a cult following. And Tenet, well, it deals with a lot of the themes that he likes to deal with, particularly time. And here we see Denzel Washington's son, John David Washington. He plays, and I'm not kidding, the protagonist. That's how he's referred to in the film. And we find out that he is a spy for the CIA. He has been given a special assignment because there are some artifacts that he discovers or is shown that they don't quite know where they're from. And these artifacts open up a grand adventure that, well, I was told not to say too much because Tenet has more than a few twists and turns, and Mr. Nolan has asked the critics and everyone else kind of keep things under wrap. This is very easy because I couldn't tell you what this movie is about if my life depended upon it.
No.
This film is so purposely confusing that there are even scenes that are purposely blotted out. There are scenes in which characters are explaining what's going on, but Nolan raises the sound on sound effects to where you can't even hear them. He's in on this joke, and really the thing that he's always enjoyed are elaborate action set pieces, and Tenet certainly does have some spectacular moments. Don't worry about the story. As one character says early on, don't try to understand it. That's the best advice you can have. Just sit back if you want to waste 2.5 hours and watch the spectacle.
Oh my goodness. So maybe save your first movie-going experience for a different flick?
I would if I were you.
Okay. Now to you, Pam. We're talking Measure for Measure.
We are. I toyed with the idea of doing Mulan or this. You can take a look at our website for the review of Mulan. But I want to give viewers a heads up on a very interesting movie that I think is captivating and riveting, and it is a Shakespearean adaptation of his play, Measure for Measure. I think it's one of the plays that is lesser known. It's about forbidden love and one woman who is of a different ethnicity and an immigrant with religious background that prohibits her from becoming involved in this relationship. It deals with social issues that are relevant in today's society of gun control, racial injustices, social injustices, as well as religion and racism. This is a riveting story. It's very complicated, as would be true to Shakespeare. There's even a little bit of poison, and Shakespeare always has poison in his plays, but this is in today's world. Wonderfully done. Hugo Weaving plays one of the main characters. Duke is a criminal crime boss and does an extraordinary job. Great performances. See this on video on demand and all digital platforms. I highly recommend it.
I didn't ask you if you liked Tenet, but you weren't able to see it because you didn't go to the theater.
Nope.
Okay. And it doesn't sound like you missed anything.
Doesn't sound like I'm going to trust Chuck on his opinion.
Whoa!
Kind of
crazy. Okay, well, we do have something fun to announce today. We've got some fun giveaways.
We do. We have for the Burnt Orange Heresy, Jerry Parks, thank you. Thank you to everybody for entering this contest. And Jerry Parks, you're going to receive a copy of the Burnt Orange Heresy. We also have next week, we have 5 sets of Fandango tickets to see Tenet in the theater, as well as a grand prize of being able to go to Chicago and go to Willis Tower and go out onto the sky deck to replicate some of the crazy gravity-defying stunts that were created in Tenet. So enter the contest, take a look at realtalkwithchuckandpam.com or go to our Facebook page, Real Talk with Chuck and Pam. Did I say Real Talk with Chuck and Pam enough?
So, and I might say it here too in just a moment. The Burnt Orange Heresy. Did we review that one?
We have not. It's just coming out. It's about an art forgery and a mystery surrounding a painting that may or may not be real and may or may not be worth millions of dollars. Mick Jagger, Donald Sutherland, Elizabeth Debicki are in it.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we are so excited to have you back in our presence.
So good to be here.
We can all be back together again talking movies, hits or misses. And if you need to pick a movie for your streaming pleasure tonight or weekend, definitely head to Real Talk with Chuck and Pam, and we'll have that link at CILiving.tv.